Gemini.
Hello Gemini, this is your New Year's forecast for 2015, so Happy New Year. Now this is a forecast that's going to run through all 12 months, and we're going to be looking at the direction of Mars, which is our goals, our drives, everything that we have on the horizon, and our physical energy. This is what gets us going, this is what drives us ahead, and normally it takes Mars 2 years to go around the chart once, which is 360 degrees. So within a year span, it will go halfway through your chart, okay? So we're going to be looking at that full 12 months, where your focus is going to dedicate itself in 6 to 7, actually it's going to be 7 here, areas of intent. And so when you know where to focus your energy, this is when you're going to be able to harvest the most. So, and we're going to be going through your long-term transits, which are the 3 outer planets. They've been there for a few years, they're still going to be there for several years in the very same area. But it's good to know where they're at so you can focus and harness what you can from these energies too, even though they work with us a little bit more on the transpersonal level, not necessarily our day-to-day conscious level. But they are what shape-shifts us. It's what causes and creates evolution in our life. So let's start off with those first. We'll look at Uranus. Uranus is the planet of separation, but also liberation. And the good thing about Uranus is it only liberates us from what we no longer need, okay? So we don't end up stuffing and stuffing. Then we can't think, we can't act, then we become like these mega hoarders. So every once in a while Uranus will eliminate so that we can refresh, renew. Those are keywords, golden keywords for Uranus, and also the beautiful brilliance and downloading full zip files into consciousness that can just give us incredible insights in an instantaneous way of knowingness. So for you here, Gemini, it's in the area of the 11th house, meaning that your genius right now lays within groups and organizations. This is where you can get most, I think, inspiration, and where you yourself can become a catalyst for others by your own unique qualities. And think about Uranus as also a beautiful keyword is one's uniqueness. It's where we differ and stand out of the crowds. So in this area, Uranus is currently working on separating you from maybe old groups and affiliations, and looking towards new groups where you can radiate, shine, and get new knowledge and insights. So you might see that some old friends are coming and going. Those of you who are born, say, first half of the sign, have already gone through a separation. Maybe you've moved, or changed cities or states, and come a little bit at distance. That doesn't mean breaking off your friendships, but what it does mean, you've actually now come to embrace new friends that have come into your life that think differently, because now you're different. And we can only attract, you know, what we give out. And as you're changing, you will have more of a need to be with like-minded people, and that's what you're attracting. Same thing goes with groups and organizations as well. But you'll also come to see throughout this whole 7-8 year transit of Uranus is how your hopes and dreams may shift. Uranus is going to help you get there, help unleash you from the old and get you into these new areas where you can radiate and attract. Then we have Neptune. Neptune in your 10th house for career. This is your hopes, dreams, wishes in that sense, where Neptune is very creative. It's also super psychic and intuitive. And it is in the sign of Pisces, so it's like a double whammy. And it's calling you from the area of career. What is it calling? It's calling you to come out with those higher concepts of what it is you desire to do, to work with. Neptune is also a planet that forgives, let goes too, just like Uranus in so many ways. loves unconditionally. There's compassion. You have a big, huge heart here with this Neptune and Pisces. So this compassion, how can you use that in your career? It might come to you through throughout this year with transits knocking into or knocking on the door to Neptune. Maybe some of you will be writing or sponsoring or aiding people in need. This is what the compassionate side of Neptune does. Then we have Pluto, has been in your 8th house, still will be there for many years. Has to do with income, long-term investments and payoffs, or also how you're sharing your resources with your partners. Not necessarily just your significant other. It could be people you work with closely one-on-one. Say in a business, this will transform this area for you. But also on a personal level, Pluto rules the 8th house. So it's strong, it's powerful here. It's secretive, you know, like Scorpio, it's secretive. And yet at the same time, loyalty becomes a big issue. So some of you have already gone through these loyalty issues. Some of you still have yet that to come in the coming years. But I see also power. Many of you are transforming to come into higher level of leadership and power, just because Pluto is moving through Capricorn, which is leadership signs. And with Neptune there in the 10th house of career, Pluto coming here with this power, well, maybe some of you will be utilizing these two components to see how you can lead within Neptunian qualities. So it's all about the heart and giving, and also transforming with Pluto there. So those are them, and we will now start off with Mars. Mars is currently here as we start off top of the year until January 13th in your 9th house. The 9th house is about publishing. For those of you who are writers, many of you Geminis are. Doesn't mean all of you are, but you're great communicators. It's also the area of teaching and learning, education. So some of you here from December 14th into January here might have been starting to research some important areas and make the most of it until January 13th, because then Mars is moving into the area of career. That's where your focus is going to be for the next 6-7 weeks. So whatever you were researching will now help you from January 13th through February 20th. This will be the time for the next 2 years where you can initiate, start things, put all your effort in, the best foot forward in your career to actually do what you can do to make a difference. Because whatever you initiate now, it's going to carry you until Mars comes back around 2 years from now. So we always want to know where that drive is, and from February 20th, it's going to move into the area of groups and organizations. Maybe your focus is going to be that much more now on social networks, where it can benefit you, not just right here and now under the transit, but where it can actually behoove you to grow your business, get it out there, get the word out, especially because you Geminis are such great communicators that I can see how you can start something that can behoove your business as well as branching out into more social medias. And God only knows, the internet is full of new sites popping up all over the place that can be good for your business. But also friendships, it's time to catch up with those that you haven't seen for a while. There might be new people coming in, and I'd say pay attention to whoever comes in as new people. We never know when somebody is there as disguised angels. That can be quite beneficial. So until April 1st, that is where your focus should be. So from April 1st to May 13th, for you, it's time where you can feel that you can take a little step back, internalize a little bit more, do those things that are a little bit more peaceful and quiet, and not necessarily as public, because you've been very public up to now. And it's just that time of the year for you to recharge your batteries. And it is right before your birthday, and it is those weeks where we're actually downloading the whole last year. So you might feel a little tired at that time. But then come May 13th, and Mars will now be in your birth sign. Happy birthday there, Gemini. And cruising through your first house. So your energy will now be totally renewed, okay? You've had that little step back, but now it's time to push forward again, out towards the world. And everybody will see that you are really picking up a lot of speed, initiating those things that you've been contemplating there the prior weeks. And Mars right now being in Gemini, well, that is your sign. So it's going to pick up the essence of your inner self, the sun, and whatever other transits that are around you right then. But initiation, you got to think about the entrepreneurial side of who you are. Mars likes to bring that up and out. So this is a great time for you to put that out there for others to see. Then we have June 25th. Mars is now going to be looking at your financial situation, what it is you make on a month-to-month basis. And you might be crunching numbers, you might be looking at new alternatives. How can you save money, but how can you also make more money? Is there a second type of income stream that could come in? That kind of thing. So from June 25th to August 9th, great time for you to enhance your financial security. It might be time for a review at work. You know, maybe there is going to be a promotion that will allow you to pick up and secure the income that you have. So come here August 9th, it's a time for you to be busy. I see you to and fro, where sharing more time with the neighbors, basically, and also with your siblings, catching up with them. But for those of you who have a job as communicators or writers, bloggers, that kind of thing, this is the essential time for you to really be able to create a lot of material in a very short period of time. We know that some people, they can get writer's blocks and whatnot, but having Mars here in the area of communication, you can get like several works done in these few weeks. It's approximately 6 weeks. Because the flow is just so dynamic. So you want to make sure to you know, shut the doors, shut the phones off, and just go at it, and you will be delighted. And so will your publishers, if you have any. For the rest of you, if you're having anything here, say a speech to give or whatnot, you will also come to see that this for you is a radiant time. So we're focusing now on the home, your roots, your family, your foundation there with property and where you live and how you live. This is coming in here from September 26th through that of November 13th. And so more time spent with family, catching up with them, and maybe parents might be needing you a little bit more, or you might be needing them. However that works out. But Mars is now focused on the home, and having Mars there, it might just even mean that some of you might be moving, or also needing to do certain repairs on the home and the yard. This would be a perfect time to catch up doing it, just because you've been so busy here over the last 2 years that right now your house is crying for you, needing you, and that attention. So yeah, for those weeks until we get into November 13th. This is nice, this is beautiful, because what it's going to do for you here late in the year is going to turn up the romantic area for you. Fifth house is all about love and relationships, not necessarily marriages, that's more seventh house. But love and relationships, for those of you who are single, great time to meet somebody new. If you're already in an established relationship, well then I see your interaction being more focused on one another and bringing those levels up. And also children, fifth house is also all about them. Maybe they will be needing your attention and support. If you are looking to get pregnant, well, having Mars here will help you big time as well. So November straight through the end of the year, it's beautiful for those things. If you are a self-employed person thinking about opening up or initiating any kind of new entrepreneurial creative project, this would be the time of the year for you to actually do so. Your creative juices are really flowing a lot, and I see how you're interacting with the balance and the beauty of what Libra will give you, as Mars is in Libra. So you're taking everything into consideration, balancing your options, feeling really good about it, and especially because you had that time with family just earlier. You might have had their feedback, what they think about these ideas, so you will be having them behind you, as if they're conditioned to be behind you in what is now about to open up and unfold for you. So you do want to go here, by the way, your partner's forecast for 2015 to see if he or she correlates with what's going on here in your chart, to see where their energies are lining up with your Mars, because that can really strengthen your own path here for this year. So let's talk a little bit about the retrogrades. The good news this year here, Gemini, is that Mars is not going to retrograde ever in 2015. It's full speed ahead. You're going to be quite dynamic in all the areas that I've outlined for you right now, as opposed to 2014, when we had all this touch and go and back and forth. Everything, you know, was a big mess for a lot of people, and I speak with a lot of you and done readings for many of you, and so we know that it was a year of tackling. This year is going to be more of a flow. However, though, we will still, of course, have Mercury retrograde, so I hope you got your pen out. I will mention the dates for when you can expect that to come around. The first one will be January 21st through February 11th. Then we have May 18th through June 11th, and then later here in the autumn, which will be September 17th through October 9th. So those are the periods we do not, if we can avoid it, start anything new or sign any contracts. If we have to, we have to, but if it can be avoided, it will just lessen whatever impact it can have. But we know that we've talked about Mercury retrograde a whole lot. The other planets retrograde, Jupiter did start off in December, December 9th, by the way, retrograding, and it will be so until April 9th. And then after that, we have a full go. So Jupiter will be on your side. For you, your Jupiter is in the 3rd house for communication and travel, both short distance, long distance. So you're seeing how this area is expanding for you. And from August 12th, Jupiter will then be done with this communication travel area and move into your 4th house. So from that time onwards, you might just start getting the feeling of wanting to expand the area you live in. So many of you will start thinking about wanting to move or also upgrade, beautify this area. And Jupiter also is just the happy-go-lucky energy within the family. So you might just feel that and see that your family is in a very good place.